What's up? I'm Bruse, and this is the Anime Watch. I'm going to be talking about is Dragon Ball Z, and I guess I'll start with from the beginning. Dragon Ball Z started from Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is mostly about Goku as a child. He's a character that was born from he was pretty much the last person of his race called Super Saiyans, and he was sent to Earth to destroy Earth. So one day when he was on Earth, he bumped his head, losing all his memory, meaning losing all the thought of killing the human race, and being taken in by an old man to teach him how he could use martial arts and pretty much go about living with everyday humans and fighting against aliens that are trying to evade the human race. But that's pretty much the description of Dragon Ball, and pretty much leads into Dragon Ball Z. So Dragon Ball is actually pretty much the best. I would say the best of all the Dragon Ball Z series, not including the movies, because Dragon Ball kept it really on task, because Goku at a young age, he pretty much went on adventures every episode. He didn't just stay into what the new series put into it. Like with Dragon Ball versus Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z's pretty much description is that it's Goku. They pretty much brought Goku from Dragon Ball into an older state, and now dealing with Goku as him being an adult with a son and a family, and pretty much still doing the same stuff, but not on an adventure, just pretty much saving the human race from being invaded by aliens that are trying to take over or destroy the Earth. So that's pretty much the description. I know I'm kind of off task about it, but they pretty much go together if you can bear with me, because Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they're just two things that pretty much go into each other. So that's pretty much the description. Now I'm going to go to things I like about it. So what I like about Dragon Ball Z is that I like the fight scenes. I really like how the characters, they plan out their attack, and how there's some pretty interesting villains. They don't all have the same stuff, but they all have a little bit of something different to put to the table. Some of the characters, there's some characters that kind of surprise you, but then again, there's some letdowns. I'm gonna get to that all in the bad, but still, DBZ overall was actually like the first anime I ever watched. It's pretty much the godfather of all anime, because DBZ is pretty much the first anime most people would say if you ask them, have you ever watched anime? They probably would say DBZ. So I like DBZ most of all because it's really good. Well, it's pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's really good, because after I explain the bads, I'm gonna get into that. But it has some really good stuff in it. Depending on the animation. But now I'm gonna go to the bads, because there's a series of bad things. But overall, it's a really good anime though. So I'm gonna go to the bads right now. So bad things about DBZ is from Dragon Ball, it had more adventure, kept things interesting, and the DBZ and Up, like the DBZ Kai and all the other stuff, it barely kept the adventure. It really just focused on Goku pretty much fighting like one villain, or pretty much one villain in one series, and it kept going on to him just fighting different villains. But what I really don't like about that is it doesn't really add the adventure. It doesn't really add to how Goku is going along with it, because it's just pretty much the whole series it's really about everybody depending on Goku pretty much. I don't really like that, because putting all that emphasis on one character just makes it kind of bad, because you want more characters to add to it, but in the end, like, they have Goku has a squad, like he has Krillin, all of them, but they don't they don't really add as much of a help to the battles that they go through, because their main person that they always focus on, that they really need, is Goku. And even when Goku died, they always find some way to bring him back, and I really don't like that, because if you can bring him back once or twice, but when you start bringing him back constantly, like 3-4 times, it just takes a lot of the emotion out the anime, if you know what I'm talking about. Because I know I like Goku. Goku's a cool guy and all that. He's really strong, has a lot of lessons and stuff like that. He's really fun, but still, it just takes the emotion out of it when you keep bringing him back. Like, if you recall Romeo and Juliet, when both of them pretty much killed themselves over each other, it's just, if they were to bring them back, would it have the same emotion, or would it not? Or would it? I'm sorry, I probably said that wrong, but it's pretty much, you probably get the point of it. Like, it wouldn't have the same effect because you already seen it before. So I really don't like how they bring a character that died back so many times, because it just takes a lot of the emotion out of it. Like DBZ, I'm always gonna keep saying this. DBZ is overall a really good anime. You really should check it out if you haven't. Like, don't get me wrong there, but still, there's a lot of disappointments. Like Yamcha, they said he was the strongest human on Earth, but still, when in the Dragon Ball saga, he still wasn't powerful. He still didn't have, he still couldn't beat anyone really. Like, there's Krillin. Krillin just sits there. He doesn't really sit there. He actually tries to engage in fights, but he mostly always dies all the time. I'm not saying that over all the memes and stuff like that, but still, he's a really weak character that doesn't really add much to, that really doesn't help much through the story. Because in the beginning, Krillin and Goku, they're pretty much best friends, but still, when it comes to fighting, Krillin can't really add much to the fight because Krillin is not that strong. And there's a lot of characters that aren't that strong that are trying to join into the fight, but they're really not doing anything. And the main character that is Goku, and I really don't like that, because they're relying on one main character, and they always bring him back. But there's that. There's also the long duration of fights where a fight can just Goku could probably just meet the bad guy right there, just one episode, and then it takes like 10 episodes for him to finish that foe off. I really don't like that. That's just too much. That's like your episodes out just to get your viewers more interested. But what it really is doing, it kind of is aggravating, because they do this throughout every fight. Other than the movies, because the movies, they just all about the fight pretty much. But when it's just that, it just gets really aggravating, because you start seeing a lot of the same stuff. You're starting less to see some of the new stuff. Like Goku, he's trained a lot, but then again, he can add that to the fight. He starts doing good, but then there's a sudden change with the villain that he starts to lose some of that, and I really don't like that. So there's some training going to waste. There's so many reliance on one main character when there should be more than one. Like, there's Vegeta, but Vegeta, he just kind of gets the crap beat out of him, but when he's like the Sand Princess, I'm sorry. He's like the prince of all the Super Saiyans, and he should be much more stronger than he really is right now, but he really isn't, so I really don't like that. And those are a couple things that are wrong with it, but overall, it's a really good anime, but you should really check it out. Now I'm going to go to, if it's a watch, I'm going to go to my rating. Watch, due to its relationship it has with its viewers, also the fight scenes, the martial arts, hard training, how the conflicts go down, and some of the stories that come along with it. So I think DBZ is a definite watch. Now I'm going to my rates. I rate DBZ a 4 out of 5 due to just because it has some minor problems. Everything else, like the minor problems, I pretty much stressed in the bad. But other than that, there's a whole lot of good in DBZ. So I really like that about it. So that's why I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Thanks for watching. This was the Anime Watch, and I'm Bruse. This was my review on DBZ.